covering the community, events, and people of Georgia, Carolina. This is the Means Report. Here is Brad Means.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Means Report. Thank you once again for spending part of your Sunday with us. We do appreciate it, and we know, as we mentioned last week, you're very busy as the Masters is approaching and all your preparations are underway. We hope those are going very smoothly. Hope you're gearing up for a fun either Masters week or spring break week, however you treat it. We are getting ready for a very busy Means Report today. Mayor Deke Copenhaver is coming really at the perfect time because it's on the heels of a couple of huge announcements for the Garden City, also on the heels of some recent meetings and developments that we want to get the mayor to update us on. Following our time with Mayor Copenhaver, we're going to talk to Donna Plants of PHC. They are a great weight loss resource in the CSRA, and Donna's going to tell us about our New Year's resolutions, and now that we're fully settled into 2012, how we can keep them, stay in shape, and more importantly, eat right every day, whether we're dieting or not. That's coming up. But first, we want to talk to a man who needs not discuss diets. It is the perfectly physically fit Ironman himself, Mayor Deke Copenhaver. And Mayor, really thank you again for being here.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Let's first of all talk about the couple of recent things that just happened before this taping of the Means Report. First, the announcement that Augusta is going to have a direct flight to and from our nation's capital. That's great news.
It really is to open us up to the north, but when you consider all the government jobs that are in the community, I hope to see this happen for a long time now, and those daily flights to D.C. are going to be great, opening us up once again to the Northeast. We've got, direct flights to Atlanta and Charlotte as well, so that's a great thing for Augusta.
Well, a lot of people might have wondered until you just said it, why would we need a flight to our nation's capital? There are a lot of people here with those government connections that need that flight. Absolutely.
I was at the ribbon cutting for the new NSA facility about 2 weeks ago. That's 4,200 people out there, good paying jobs, but those are people that are going to need to get back and forth between here and D.C. So I'm just extremely excited about it. I know it makes it easier for me when I have to run up there now, but good things for Augusta.
Starbucks is coming to Augusta, and when I first heard about this, it really didn't sink in, and it's one of those things that the more you think about it, the more you see how huge Starbucks is on the international scene, the more you realize what a coup this is for Augusta. Can you, first of all, tell us how you feel about it and sort of tell us how we did this?
I will tell you, Brad, it was 4 months of extremely hard work by our development authority, by the State Department of Economic Development. I am extraordinarily excited about this. This is truly a game changer, but in my role in trying to help pitch the city of Augusta, as soon as I found out who they were, I was waiting to do my pitch, and I said, look guys, I ran the Green Space program for 4 years, huge Pearl Jam fan, I noshed at a Nirvana concert, I do triathlons, you're my dream company. So I got to help pitch that, and really my hat's off to Walter Sprouse, to the State Department of Economic Development, to this community. But we are an internationally known brand name associated with excellence. So are they. It's a great fit.
Well, let me just stop for a moment, because so many times on the Means Report, viewers are used to you giving us updates on what's going on in the city, and they appreciate them. I've heard from viewers who say that they can help feel the pulse of the Garden City after hearing you tell them what's happening. But let's look at you for a second, the face of this city as a mayor, a young mayor, a mayor who does take part in Ironman competitions, who does take care of himself, and who did have the knowledge and the cultural experiences to reference some of the Seattle things you just mentioned. That's all neat and nice and everything and fun, but when you're sitting across a table from somebody who's going to bring 140 plus jobs here, that had to resonate with the Starbucks people. They had to say, we like what we see.
Well, and let me tell you, they talked about, how do we sort of shift the culture of Augusta to be more creative like Seattle? And I said, look, I've been working on this for years and years, but I think it did resonate, but you consider, culturally, artistically, we are at that tipping point in the community. We host the world's largest Ironman event, the Westaboo Festival. I said, you guys, we're at a cultural tipping point in our city's history, and if you guys come in, you're going to truly tip the culture of Augusta. I have no doubt about that.
Do you have any idea what kind of corporate citizen they're going to be? They're not going to just be in the background, are they?
No, they will come in and start making a difference. Social responsibility is a huge priority to them. This is about, the CEO, says that this is about creating American jobs as well. So they will start giving back to the community immediately. They will come right out of the box and look for a big splash, really, I think, to come next month.
Also, to wrap up our Starbucks talk, this has to encourage other huge companies to consider Augusta very seriously and know that that is a great place to do business.
Well, I believe in leveraging your successes. So any company looking to come to Augusta, when you can say, look, we just made national news on this one, it's a huge deal that will resonate in our economic development efforts for years and years to come. And I love them too. Social responsibility, they will build a gold LEED certified building. It's just, what is not to love about this?
Boy, I can't wait for them to get here. Let's talk about some recent developments that you've been involved with on the political level. First of all, the commission retreat. Your thoughts on that? I know it's been a couple of weeks. Overall, are you glad it happened? Did it do any good?
I think it did do some good. We had the retreat follow-up this past Monday. But it's interesting to me, when we get off site, you don't have the infighting, you have people working together, and we talk about the big picture issues, and then sometimes we regress a little bit when we get back into commission chambers, but I think it's good and healthy to have an open dialogue. We're not trying to hide anything from anybody. The press covers them, and we'll continue to do that. So I think it is productive. We've still got work to be done, but we've made progress.
Sunday alcohol sales are official, correct? April 1st, we will be able to buy alcohol on Sundays.
Yes.
That's done.
That's done.
Your thoughts about how that whole thing played out?
Well, we put it out to the voters. They approved it, and so then the commission just approved it this past, amending the ordinance this past Tuesday, and the voters decided on that one. I'll be interested to see what Sunday of Masters is like with Sunday sales. I'm sure that'll generate some more revenue, but once again, the voters, we asked them the question, they said yes.
Very quickly, there hasn't been a Masters Sunday that I can remember where I haven't been in line at a grocery store and heard a frustrated visitor say, what do you mean you don't sell on Sundays? So no matter what your thoughts are on it, a lot of those visitors will purchase it on that first Sunday.
I'm sure they will.
Let's talk about Augusta's sheriff, Richmond County Sheriff Ronnie Strength. He has announced his retirement since your last visit. Your thoughts on Sheriff Strength, first of all?
Well, I will tell you, he is a dear, dear friend. He is a good, good man, and we are losing a lot to lose Ronnie, and from that position, he's done a phenomenal job. You've seen these sting operations. He's kept the crime rate low, but it's going to be an interesting race, and I want to just say to Ronnie, if he's watching, thank you. I've thanked you privately. I want to thank you publicly. I know I speak on behalf of the rest of the city, but it will be interesting. 5 candidates to this point, and I don't know who's going to take his place.
Who do you hope takes his place?
Oh, I don't know that. I will just say this, that Scott Peoples is a good friend of mine. We have a close relationship, so it would not hurt my feelings if Scott got in that position. I don't really know the other gentleman running that well, but Scott is a friend of mine.
Let's talk about the Hyde Park situation. These are residents who live in a part of Augusta that are subject to, a part that is subject to heavy flooding. They want to build a pond there to catch all of this water. They want to move the residents out. This is extremely expensive. I guess my question to you is, where's the money going to come from, and why are we considering sales tax money to help us with this relocation?
Well, the SPLOST money that's set aside for the retention area there was approved in the last SPLOST. So this is something the voters did approve, and I believe that this has been a long time issue. It's been a controversial issue. Some people want to stay in the neighborhood, some people don't, but I believe we can work through this. We're finally starting to make some progress. Cooler heads will prevail, and I believe that's one more hot button issue that will ultimately take off the table, as we did with the Gilbert Manor situation, as we've done with so many other controversial situations. We will work it out for that neighborhood. Are you going to please everybody? No, because you never can.
Well, can we afford it even right now, even with all that SPLOST money? Is it financially doable?
It's financially doable.
Okay, and might it jeopardize future sales tax votes if voters think, okay, it's just going to go for something like this?
I tell you, Brad, I don't believe so. You saw our education SPLOST approved recently. Our last SPLOST was approved with 70% of the vote. People understand, this is not just throwing money away. When you look at, the T Center, the new law enforcement center, the Judicial Center, all of these SPLOST projects that we have completed or are completing, usually on time, under budget. We're being good stewards of the taxpayer dollars.
Masters is coming up. As of the airing of this Means Report, we'll be 1 week away from the arrival of our guests, getting ready for the first full week in April. Your thoughts on the tournament and the way the city is prepared for it?
Well, we're always prepared for it. Our traffic engineering department does a tremendous job. The Augusta National, you couldn't have a better planning partner than that. But I like the young guys. I always like seeing the young guys do well in it, so I wouldn't mind seeing a Rory or somebody like that win it. But let me just say, one of the things I'm looking the most forward to is the Mayor's Masters reception at 6 o'clock on the Commons on Monday night, honoring Tom Watson, two-time champion,
wow,
who I grew up idolizing. My dad used to play with him when I was a kid. I've got the visor that my dad brought me, autographed by him, from 1977, which was the first year he won the Masters. So that's special for me, but a gentleman of the game, that should be special for the entire community.
That's going to be a great way to kick off that wonderful week. And I'll say, we've talked about this before, a lot of the roadways are looking a lot better. We talked about the Wheeler Road beautification project and the St. Sebastian Way beautification project. It seems that we're starting to see a lot more of that around town. Gordon Highway's looking good.
It is, and it's so exciting to me because a lot of this are citizen efforts and investments by citizens, by businesses working to help the city. But we are the Garden City. We're really beginning to look like it, and I look for those efforts to expand. But to all the private citizens, businesses that are helping out with these efforts and taking the lead, I just want to say thank you.
Their efforts are paying off. And drive around town, folks, and notice these beautification projects. They really make a difference. Mainly the medians, just the trees and the landscaping look really, really nice. Going in the complete opposite direction. The Golf and Gardens property does not look really, really nice. Looks like it could be the future home of Georgia Health Sciences University. Your thoughts, first of all, on what's going to become of that property, and then we'll talk baseball stadium. But do you think GHSU will secure it and be able to build there?
I do, and I will tell you, it is a major step in the right direction to me. It frustrates me to no end to drive by that property, knowing that 17 acres of prime riverfront property producing no revenues, no sales tax revenues generated, no property tax revenues. But I think it's a step in the right direction. I think that it affords the opportunity for a wide mix of uses. Obviously, Georgia Health Sciences University, or the newly named university, will put it to good use, some research space, potential for housing. Is there the potential to do something for the performing arts as well as a potential sports and entertainment facility? I think there is. Those are ongoing discussions. Nothing's etched in stone at this point.
Well, might this be sort of a backdoor way to get the stadium there? Because you could bill it, as Dr. Aziz mentioned this past week, as a place for the sports teams to practice and play, because there will be athletics at this new merged university, and also a new home for the Green Jackets. Might we be able to slip it in that way?
I always shoot for the win-win, and I think if we could develop, once again, if you could mix the uses, you have some student housing, you have research facilities, you have a sports and entertainment complex, and something dedicated to the performing arts. That is a win-win for everybody. 17 acres, I've come from a background in real estate and development. I believe you can fit all of that on there. You can go vertical too, we could go up higher. So, but nothing's etched in stone yet. That, I hope we can put that all together. If not, just to see it developed in some manner is going to be a good thing for the community.
We talked about the developments at Bush Field as far as the addition of a Washington, D.C. direct flight each day. So let's now talk about our other airport, Daniel Field. Mayor, what a phenomenal terminal they've built out there. The Boshears terminal is beautiful. They
have, and it's so appropriate to dedicate it in the name of the Boshears family, our first family of aviation. But once again, you think, Brad, look at the entranceways, the gateways into our community. At Bush Field, how that looks now. Daniel Field, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. We should have visitors, when they come here, we look like, a vision of excellence, of forward thinking. These gateways, that facility gets us there. And I think about all those corporate jets that'll be coming in a couple weeks. it improves the visitor experience, but that's Augusta's front door.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful first impression. Mayor, I know that you're extremely busy as always, and I know especially with Masters coming up, you're going to be really putting the best foot forward for our city. And I appreciate you being here. Congratulations on Starbucks. Anything else, coming down the pipe? I don't want to talk about it in hindsight next time you're here. Anything coming up?
That is one of the reasons why we're being so successful from economic development is people know not to talk, not to jeopardize those deals. So I'm not saying anything, but stay tuned.
Okay, good deal. We will stay tuned. That's exciting. And thanks a lot for being here.
Glad to be here.
When the Means Report continues, we'll talk to Donna Plants from PHC. And by the way, I wanted to mention something about Masters Week and all those planes going in and out of Daniel Field. If you want to do something fun, especially with your kids, on Easter Sunday, the day that the Masters ends this year, after church, mid-afternoon, just go sit in the Bilo parking lot there, the Daniel Village parking lot, and watch those jets take off. It's just amazing to see all the golfers and all the people who fly into Augusta leaving, just a succession of flights departing the Garden City. Pretty neat thing to watch every Masters Sunday. Donna Plants, PHC, how to stay in shape and how to eat right when the Means Report continues. Stay with us.